There are moments in life that feel weightless, serene, and deeply significant. Moments when, for reasons we can't always grasp, it seems as though the distance between heaven and earth has dissolved. To be truly close to God is an experience that defies simple explanation. It transcends doctrines and rituals, instead, touching something essential and timeless within us. It is not confined to church walls, sacred texts, or grand spiritual events, but often emerges unexpectedly. In the hush of early morning, the laughter of a child, the stillness before sleep, or after a hard won forgiveness. In these moments, something within feels unmistakably aligned. There is no need to strive, to prove, or to plead. Instead, there's a sense of being seen and loved in our entirety. Our hopes, our flaws, our struggles, all laid bare and embraced. The burdens we carry seem lighter, as though a gentle hand has lifted them from our shoulders. Fear retreats, replaced by an unexplainable peace, and worry loses its sharpness. For those who grow up hearing about God often through stories and traditions, there comes a time when the notion shifts from an idea whispered by teachers to an encounter rooted in one's own heart. It is a movement from knowledge into experience, a collision of soul and spirit, which bathes everything in new light. Suddenly, the world seems tender and illuminated. Even the most ordinary things hold a quiet beauty. A leaf trembling in the breeze speaks of care, the scent of rain, of renewal. Being close to God isn't always accompanied by dazzling miracles or dramatic revelations, though these certainly happen. More often, it feels like an inner warmth, as though kindness itself has curled up inside your chest. There's a clarity, like seeing after years of blurred vision. Decisions once tangled in anxiety untangle with a new sense of guidance. It's as if the deepest part of you has become a tuning fork, resonating with purpose and presence. There is a profound sense of safety in it, a knowing that no matter what storms rage outside, you have an anchor that will not fail. The world can howl and spin, but something in you remains unshaken. When a heartbreak arrives, as it inevitably does, being close to God doesn't make it disappear, but it does offer solace. Tears come easier, and so does hope. Even in pain, you sense a companionship that tells you you are not alone. Some describe it as being cradled, others as a whisper in the darkness, saying gently, I am with you. It's impossible to forget that closeness is not a constant state. Life is full of wandering. There are stretches of distance, days when prayers feel like pebbles cast into a well with no echo in return. But the memory of intimacy with God lingers like the faint scent of perfume, compelling us to seek it again and again. It teaches us that faith is not merely a set of beliefs, but a relationship, a living, breathing connection that ebbs and flows but never truly disappears. When closeness returns, gratitude overflows. You find yourself marveling at the smallest gifts, a breath drawn in, a friend's smile, the hush that settles in your heart during meditation or prayer. Colors seem more vivid, music touches deeper, and the ordinary is veiled in an extraordinary wonder. You become less defensive, more patient, your judgments soften. Compassion wells up not just for others but for yourself as well. The expectations you've placed on your soul begin to dissolve, replaced by an understanding that you are already accepted, already enough. Trust begins to reroute itself, a trust not predicated on everything going right, but on the assurance that whatever may come, you are being held. You find yourself letting go, releasing the need to control every outcome or force every answer. This yielding is paradoxically empowering. It frees you to live more fully, to love more fiercely, and to suffer with greater courage. Sometimes being close to God brings a deep conviction, a sense that you are called to a purpose beyond yourself. Words and ideas flow that are not your own. Wisdom surfaces when you least expect it. Humility replaces pride. In this space, service becomes a joy, not an obligation. You seek to heal, to help, to forgive, not for recognition, but out of gratitude for the grace you've tasted. There is no room for bitterness or resentment, just an expansive love that radiates outward. Even your flaws and wounds take on new meaning. Instead of sources of shame, they become places where the light gets in, through which you can touch the pain of others with empathy and understanding. Your prayers transform, less a list of demands than a conversation, sometimes wordless, a quiet acknowledgement of presence and peace. Many describe this closeness as a gentle companionship. Loneliness recedes, replaced by an abiding sense of relationship with the divine, one that listens, guides, and loves. You're reminded that you were never meant to journey alone. The God who is with you is also in everyone you meet. Eyes once shadowed by suspicion now search for the divine in the everyday faces that cross your path. Perhaps the greatest surprise about being close to God is discovering how much more expansive, gracious, and loving God is than you ever imagined. The boundaries of old certainties fall away. The world is no longer divided into us and them, holy and secular, worthy and unworthy. All of life becomes sacred, every encounter, every challenge, every longing. You begin to see yourself and others through eyes of mercy, letting go of old grudges, welcoming reconciliation, trusting that love truly is the greatest force in the universe. Ultimately, being close to God is less about what you do and more about who you are becoming. It is an invitation into a life of deeper authenticity, greater generosity, and increasing awe. It is a journey that never really ends, a dance between presence and absence, seeking and finding, loss and renewal. In its light, you gradually become more fully yourself, and paradoxically, more open to the one who loves you without condition. In the end, to be close to God is to know in the very marrow of your bones that you are beloved, that nothing, not even your own failures, can separate you from that love. It is a quiet assurance that in all things, in joy and sorrow, in success and failure, in certainty and doubt, you are never far from the heart of God. And in that nearness, you discover the life you were always meant to live, free, courageous, compassionate, and brimming with unshakable hope.